Hi, my name is Zikra. Like what you see, give me a
Like and subscribe.
So while those are drying, I have these beautiful laces. So I've got this red lace and the green one. So I'm going to alternate the laces and then put them into the journals. I'm just going to go through like so, and just going to look for a plain page. So these have the punches, so they're not really empty. So this one is an empty page, so that's just right before the envelope that I had put it. So I'm going to pick a page that has no punches or anything. It's quite plain. So I'm just going to spread that out like this and say I use the red lace. I've got this tea dyed paper and I'm just going to fold it in half. So just like that. And I'm also going to take the lace that I had, because I love to use lace in my journals. So the reason I've doubled it up so it's firm, it's thicker, like, for the pocket. So let me just show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take the lace like so, and I will turn it like this, and then so this is the opening side, the bottom half side that opens, and this is the thicker side. So I'm just going to put the lace on top like that, and I'm just going to roughly cut it out. Like that. You can glue this if you want. I'm just going to do that then. Just use my glue stick and then roughly just glue it like so. It's not too necessary to do this, but I'm just going to do that, so you're not going to be confused. And then using this beautiful lace, I'm going to I'll be taking the page that has the tea dyed paper that is actually a bit plain, so not this punched one, the one that's next to the envelope. So this paper, let me just show you. Just carefully keep that in like that. And so this is the paper that I'm going to sew onto. So just give me a second. Yeah, so I'm going to take this, open out this page, and I'm going to make this lace pocket. So I'm going to make sure that this is the same length of the original paper, as you can see. So I'm just going to put the lace on top like this, and I'm going to use my machine, my sewing machine, and then sew all three corners. So this way, down here, and then up this way. So it's like that. So let me show it without the lace. So I'll be sewing all three layers. So the lace, this piece of pocket, folded tea dyed paper onto the larger tea dyed paper. So I'm going to sew this way, down this way, and then up this way. So the reason I'm doing this is so that if I am to have like a tag or something, For example, if I take this piece like so, when I put it through, it's not going to catch onto the net. So it's easier to slide in and out. Say if I had to sew it on directly, which I can do and I've done this in the past, even though it looks pretty, I feel like the corners of the tag, they tend to catch a little bit. So it's a bit harder to pull in and out. So that's the reason I thought I would do it this way. So I'm just going to, again, this is the open side, which I glued down, but this is the folded side. So I'm just going to put this up here and then put the lace that we've cut on top like that. So it doesn't matter if the lace sticks out a bit, that's fine. That just adds to the decoration and the authenticity of the lace. It's fine. But this is the important part, like the fact that if you want to be super neat, you can, you know, sew it on like this. You can fold it in and then fold it and then sew this separately and then sew that onto this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sew all three layers together. Use my sewing machine and sew it on like this, guys. But before I had one, I used to use stapler machine, the stapler and my hot glue gun. Those work perfectly, but now that I have a sewing machine, that's what I'm going to use. So I've got my sewing machine out, and this is how I've clipped it, so I don't lose, so it's not going to move too much. So I'm just going to begin to sew. And there we have it, guys. That's how it looks. And I have this excess, which I'm going to cut away. I'm just going to cut away the excess material. Just turn it this way so I can see it better. And as you can see, there's a bit of lace that's hanging out at the bottom, and I don't mind that at all. And at the top there's a bit of overhang as well, but I think that looks so pretty. That looks so pretty. And now that this is sewn, this is also very secure. And let me just fold this back on itself, just the way it was. Now you can choose to have it this way or this way. It does not matter now. Let me just see how it looks this way. That's also very pretty. I think I like it this way. Now when you see it this way, it looks like it's hanging. Like you can see, it's like away from this layer. But once it's sewn in, it will be fine. For example, now this is where we took it from. So let's just see how that looks. Do we want it like this? I think that's so much prettier. Like this. Or do we want it the other way? Let me just see how it looks on the other side. Like, just hold this like so, and let's just fold it the other way like we had. So this is the other way. And if we were to do it like this, that's what it will look like. And this in the center. Oh, I like this one also. I think I will stick to this way because since this is a pocket and the envelope is also going to act as a pocket, like it's a pocket where whoever purchases this can stuff it with extra pictures or anything that they feel like they don't want to glue on, but just to keep and then take it out. So I think this is a good writing space, and I feel like this is a better side for the pocket. So I will also be doing this. So see, now for example, if we have this, it's going to slide in with no problems. Instead of like this, even though this is sliding in and out right now, usually this could also get stuck, so we don't want that. So that goes in more smoothly like that. I believe that they are dry now, so I'm just going to roughly cut it up with my scissors. Let me just look. Okay, I got my scissors. I'm just going to roughly cut them, not perfectly as I did. I'm just going to leave a white border and then just roughly cut it up like this. Not worrying too much about the grooves of the image. I'm just roughly giving it a cut like so. Like that. And let's just see how that looks on top. And that looks pretty good, if you ask me. So I also have these laces, the green and the red. So let's just see how that will look also under this image. Just a little bit like that. Just roughly add in some. I'm going to take the red away because I feel like the red will camouflage with this a little. So let's just roughly cut around this also. Where is my fabric scissors? Alright, now everything seems to be missing. Why? Just give me a second, guys. Okay, I found them. So let me just roughly cut around this image with the lace. Like that. And I think that green at the back makes this image pop a little bit more. And what if we add a bit of gold also? Let's just see. Like that. So I'm just going to roughly cut this one also. Like that. And I think that looks brilliant. Or maybe the gold behind at the back. And then the green lace. That looks really pretty also. Like so. For me, I don't want this image to come away from this cardstock that we've done. So even though this looks pretty, it still looks a bit incomplete for me. So I'm just going to go and do some messy stitching on top. That's why I left this border. And then let's see what if that looks any better. Let's just try to do that first, and then I'll see how it looks. So we'll be right back. So as you can see, I've done the messy stitching on this one, and it's got the light green, and on this side it has the white. And I also made the border a bit more thinner by cutting it away, because I felt that border that I had given was a bit too thick. So now I'm going to just take my vintage photo, and I'm going to ink the edges, because I feel that's what's missing here. I'm going to quickly do that. Much better, isn't it? Right. And then now let's see how it looks. Let me just see how this looks now. Somehow I feel like the gold should go on top to make it look more festive. So what do we think now? I think it has more body now after the inking and the sewing. But also I still feel like something's missing. Even though this looks pretty, I still feel something is missing, and I can't decide what. Perhaps if I had some kind of text behind it, maybe then would that look a bit more together. Let me see if I can fold this in half. This is one of the scraps I had. Let me just cut this in half. Let's see if I can just put it under like so. But then that will be covering up everything, almost all of the lace, and I don't want that. No, I don't like the lace. I mean the text. What could we do? Maybe I should make it smaller. So let me just hold this like so. And I'm just going to cut around it. It's not the most efficient way to do it, but it's the only way I feel like I wouldn't cut too much. So let me make it more of a circular shape. Let's just see how that looks. Yeah, I think the lace was a bit too big. So if I make it a bit shorter and smaller, then that's going to be okay, I think. Let me just make the gold shorter. Okay. I think that looks so much better. I've gone ahead and added this beautiful doily. I think that's what was missing, because I love to add my doilies. It just brightens everything up. I also cut this into half because I felt that was a bit too big. So since only half of I kept the full size of the gold polka dots like this, and I thought I will put the doily on top of that, and then this center image like that. And also, since only half of the doily is peeking out, I'm going to put this lace on the bottom part like that. And I think that has come together better as a topper. What do we think? Like halfway, like so. So that's just a little bit of green poking out. And I think that looks much better than the full-on. Although it's too much going on, and I think this looks really pretty. So I think I will go ahead and do the same thing for all of the journal covers, the same method. Obviously they're going to be of different sizes, but I will try to keep them as similar as I can. I've got my glue gun now. I'm just going to glue down the cover, the center top thing. I'm just going to lift and then make sure I have plenty of glue, and I'm going to stick it down, lifting each layer at a time. Just get the majority down so they won't move, like that, making sure they are stuck down well, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm just going to pay more attention and then glue down all the small bits and the corners well. The doily as well, so that won't lift up later on. The glue gun is very quick and effective. It's not going to come undone. Just need a bit more patience and not get hurt, because you can burn yourself. So, and I think that's all stuck down well now. Just checking again. And now we have our topper for the journal. Very happy with that. I'm not going to bother to glue down the lace too much, because I feel like that looks pretty coming up like that. But the majority, like the main picture, the image, that has to be stuck down for me. So I'm just making sure that's done. But otherwise, it's fine. So I will be doing the same thing to all of the journals. off camera. So we've done the topper today and also this beautiful pocket. And I think I'm going to alternate for each journal. Like this one has the red, and I think for some of the journals I will do it in the beautiful green. I think I will alternate it because I don't know how much of this is all I have of this beautiful lace. Since I'm doing a long pocket, I don't know if I can manage everything with that same lace. But since green is also the theme, I think I can alternate it. But I think that looks so pretty, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Bye.